farming in Windsor still. There's some apples, but mainly tobacco, and where I live, obviously. And I've always found we had a cabin in Litchfield County, the corn and everything there every spring and summer was so good. And so when I saw the story about these tax revaluations with farmers and the pressure, I just was like, I kind of want to know what this is all about. So interestingly enough, it kind of fell on party lines a little bit, which I didn't really understand. But Dr. Jeff Gordon, State Senator, joining us here on Bryan & Company to talk a little bit about it. Doctor, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good. Can you just explain to the people out there in as succinct a way as you can, what's happening taxation-wise to Connecticut farmers?
Well, the farmers have gotten a massive tax increase, some of them in tens of thousands of dollars, because they put a lot of their farmland into a program called Public Act 490, where they get a property tax break to allow them to then afford to be able to farm and use the land to grow the food we eat and grow the food for all of the livestock they have to raise, like dairy cows. The state every 5 years does an analysis to decide what are the values of different types of farmland, different types of other land such as swampland and forest land, open space. Every 5 years it's done, and for some unclear reason, the state Department of Agriculture, Office of Policy and Management did an analysis. It looks to have been massively flawed and didn't really include farmers, and suddenly the value of this land is suddenly spiking, and farmers are caught off guard, and they can't afford this type of tax increase, and rightly so. They're up in arms about it because it's not as if you make millions of dollars off of farming. It's a very difficult life, and I give them a lot of credit for what they do, but they can't absorb this cost, and they can't pass the cost on to consumers.
Now, is this because, real estate values generally have skyrocketed in Connecticut post-pandemic? Is that what this is about?
No, it's different than that. When you really look at this analysis that the state government did, it was based upon a survey of very, very few farmers. Most farmers didn't even know there was a survey being done, the way it was really not notified well. And based upon what some of the values they were getting back in this really skewed, limited analysis, somehow they came up with these big price increases for certain types of farming land. It doesn't seem to have any connection in reality to the price of real estate otherwise. For example, swampland went from $40 an acre to $970 an acre.
Okay, so it's just obviously on its face is ridiculous, right? So say we agree that it's ridiculous, and they've even acknowledged, I think they tried to tweak it lower already, but there's two questions. One is, and you can answer them, I know I never ask two-parters, but I always do. Is this going to, if it stays, is it going to force people to actually leave the business? And number two is, what can be done to change it?
Well, number one, yes, we've been hearing from farmers that if this stays, some farms will close or have to just cease some of their operations because they can't afford literally to operate when they have to pay these taxes. And number two, yes, there are things to do. I'm part of a working effort with my colleagues where we're asking for a moratorium on these tax increases. Number two, let's get a working group together of farmers who understand this issue to figure out what is the right valuation so we can actually have farmers at the table making the decisions. And number 3 and 4 is we should be putting caps on these types of increases so we don't get sticker shock to farmers, and the legislature must have oversight before any of these things go into place in the future. So actively working on this.
Some people have said the governor could do it with a phone call. Is that true?
Yes. I mean, my colleagues and I raised this alarm, and when we were told that state government couldn't do anything about this, suddenly after farmers and my colleagues and I raised concern and showed they could act, they acted and revised these tax hikes. Yes, the governor could work with Office of Policy and Management, Department of Agriculture, and get this fixed and put a moratorium in place right now. We have yet to hear that that's going to happen, but we are pushing for that.
So, and is this something that you can legislate in the next session if the governor doesn't take action?
Absolutely, and my Republican colleagues and I in the Senate, we are actively working on legislation and with farmer input to have a moratorium and to make certain we make this right moving forward in the future.
Anything else going on, Senator? How are you? You good?
I'm doing very well. I'm keeping very busy. Out and about all of my 13 towns in the 35th district in Northeast Connecticut, and I just want to thank my constituents for taking all the time they take whenever I meet, talk with them, ask them questions, and hear what they have to say and listen to their concerns.
Doc, have a great day. We appreciate you coming on and giving some clarity here. We'll obviously stay on top of it. Let us know if there's any developments, and let's talk as the session gets going next month.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, have a good day. That's Dr. Jeff Gordon, state senator in the 35th, talking about, it just seems, he said $70 to $900 for swampland. I understand like taxes might have to go up because property and real estate goes up, but he didn't even say it was tied to the assessments that have gone on in towns across the state. As we've seen an incredible appreciation of real estate in Connecticut that's led to some real challenges from a property tax perspective. And I think there's an opportunity to talk about the whole concept and what we're doing with our property taxes here in Connecticut. I know it's going to be a huge issue in the next election.